What's up, guys? Just Jocelyn here. I'm bringing you guys another tier list today. We're going to be going through every single Slipknot album and ranking them, including Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat, and the new album that just came out today, The End So Far. And you guys crushed the support on the last tier list video I did for Machine Head. It's got around 900 views, I believe, so thank you guys for the support on that, and hopefully you guys come around this time to support this video as well. So, Slipknot, man, they were definitely one of the gateway metal bands for me. I don't really listen to them too much anymore because they were like the only band I listened to for months and months on end, probably a year straight, and I just got really burnt out on them. Plus, I'm getting into more extreme bands like Cannibal Corpse on my hat here, Dying Fetus, Suffocation, Gorgasm, stuff like that. So I'm really getting into the brutal death metal stuff. But obviously, Slipknot will definitely always be a special place and a special band for me, because without them, I wouldn't have gotten into the more extreme stuff. And I definitely think they are a really good gateway band to get into more extreme forms of metal. So yeah, without any further babbling, let's just get into this. We got Slipknot's very first release from 1996, Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat. Now this featured a different lineup. You still had Clown, you still had Paul, you still had Joey, but you had Anders Closefny on vocals, which he definitely is not strong at clean singing. Definitely not. But he's got a really sick scream, really sick growls on here, especially in the opening song Slipknot, which is the original version of Sick. Like, I think maybe halfway through, there's this really cool growling breakdown sort of section, which is just really sick. And then you also had Josh Brainerd on guitars, who does some background screaming, background growls. And then you had Donnie Steele on guitars as well. I believe Mick and Clown, or not Clown, Craig are in the booklet, but they're not actually on the album. So they're, I guess, credited for the album, but they didn't actually perform on it or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while. I haven't really caught up with them. I kind of forgot some of the stuff I knew about their history because I used to know everything about this fucking band. I used to be obsessed with Slipknot and obsessed with Korn and all that. So, yeah. This one has more of an avant-garde approach. There's definitely some like jazz, fusion, disco type of influences here on songs, especially like Confessions. Do Nothing Bitch Slap has a few jazzy moments. Only One has a kind of jazzy rap section in it. And yeah. So this features five, I think. Yeah, 5 original versions of songs that would be later re-recorded. So Slipknot obviously became Sick. Gently was re-recorded. Only One, Tattered and Torn were re-recorded rather. And Killers Are Quiet became Iowa later on. So yeah, I think Tattered and Torn is the only one on here, which I think is a bit stronger than the re-recorded version. Just because the re-recorded version I think is too noisy on self-titled, and this one is a lot less, I guess, harsh and abrasive. Not that that's a bad thing, of course. I just don't really like the song on the self-titled album. But yeah. Yeah, again, this is a pretty different album for them. It's really cool to see where Slipknot began, but obviously it's just not the Slipknot that we all know and love, and for that reason, I'm probably going to put this in... I'll put it in C tier. It's not quite D tier, but yeah, definitely not great. And then the legit debut album from Slipknot, the self-titled from 1999, S tier. There's no possible other place that this could go. It is just S tier. This album is really fucking awesome. Every song is great except for the aforementioned Tattered and Torn. I could really take that song or leave it. And bonus tracks like Get This and Eeyore are really awesome as well. Purity is one of the best songs this band has ever written. That song is amazing. Deluded is really underrated. And obviously you got the bangers like Sick, Eyeless, Wait and Bleed, Surfacing, Spit It Out. Liberate is really underrated. Prosthetics is really underrated. No Life is really good. Only One is really good. Scissors is just a really crazy, fucked up song. It's awesome. And yeah, Slipknot were technically new metal on this album. There are some new metal elements with like the rapping in some of the songs and all the DJ scratching and whatnot. But Slipknot was definitely really, really heavy amongst these other new metal bands. I mean, I use the term new metal loosely with Slipknot because I just think that they're their own thing. Really, you can't really categorize them. It's just they're just like a melting pot of every metal genre. There's lots of crazy fast double bass. There's lots of crazy fills, and yeah, albums like the self-titled and Iowa were the first time where I really heard extreme drumming like that, like really fast double bass, blast beats, and all that. That's what really introduced me to death metal drumming. Now I know Slipknot's not really a death metal band, obviously, but you know, death metal does use the same drumming style pretty much, with the crazy fast double bass and blast beats and all that. And obviously, there's lots of groovy beats on Slipknot as well. But yeah, S tier. There's no other place that self-titled could go. And then Iowa is going to take the top spot in S tier. This was the first Slipknot album that I really got into. This was the first one I really listened to all the way through. And yeah, the lyrics at the time just amazed me. I think I found this in like 10th grade. I'm pretty sure it was 10th grade. And yeah, I really related to songs like People Equal Shit, Disaster Piece, all that stuff. This was just a crazy album for me to hear at that time, and it was the perfect time for me to hear it. And yeah, Corey's screams on this album are just absolutely gut-wrenching, throat-shreddingly brutal. Crazy riffs on here too. Now, I will say the guitars are borderline inaudible at times. Like, the drums and vocals are really louder than the rest of the instruments. But you have places where the guitar and bass do shine. So that's neither here nor there. But yeah, songs like People Equal Shit, Disaster Piece, My Plague, Everything Ends, Heretic Anthem, Gently, Left Behind, The Shape, Skin Ticket, Metabolic, title track. I mean, every song on this album is great. Seriously, every song on this album is fucking awesome. And yeah, S tier, there's no other place it could go. It's my favorite Slipknot album of all time. I know in my past ranking I was like, oh, it's too immature. Oh, blah, 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 blah. The lyrics are too direct. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking at that time. But yeah, it's the best Slipknot album. Let's not fucking beat around the bush here. Anyways, moving on. Now we have 2004's Volume 3 to Subliminal Verses. Now this is when Slipknot was getting a lot softer. There's still brutal tracks on here like The Blister Exists and 3-0 and all that. But definitely a push was made for more radio-friendly songs like Duality and Before I Forget. And honestly, I really don't care for Duality. Like, yeah, if I've seen Slipknot live 3 times, I've sung along with it. You know, it's a good song. I just think it's massively overrated. I would definitely not put this in even my top 25 Slipknot songs. Like, it is massively overrated. It is the Enter Sandman of Slipknot. Not a bad song. If I see it live, I'll sing along, I'll rock out, but yeah. But yeah, man. Top tracks on here. Blister Exists, 3-0. Opium of the People is really underrated. Circle is a really nice kind of acoustic-y interlude. Welcome is a fucking banger. Vermilion is awesome. Pulse of the Maggots is another banger. Before I Forget is great. Vermilion Part 2 is a nice, tear-jerking ballad. Excuse me. And, yeah, The Nameless is really cool. The Virus of Life is really underrated. I feel that's a great song. And then the last song, Danger Keep Away, is great too. Lots of great singing from Corey in that track. I do not like the full version of Danger Keep Away. It's really weird. It's like 2 songs mashed together. It really does not work at all. The shorter version, I feel, is way better now. Let's see where we're going to put this. I'm going to put this in A for now, at the top of A tier. Not quite S tier, but I think A tier is appropriate enough. And then we have 2008's All Hope Is Gone. Now, this was when Slipknot were kind of fracturing a little bit. This is the last album to feature the original 9 members from the self-titled album. Rest in peace, Paul. Rest in peace, Joey, obviously. So this was the last album to feature Paul before his unfortunate death in 2010, I believe, 2010, 2011. And yeah, man. This album is just really disjointed. I feel the track list is very awkwardly ordered. You have an acoustic ballad like Snuff, and then you have a brutal, almost death metal title track like All Hope Is Gone. It's just really jarring. And I'll just say this right now. Snuff is a great song on its own, but it does not belong on this album. It does not belong on a Slipknot album. It's a Stone Sour song. There, I said it. Like, it's a great song, don't get me wrong. I like the song, but it does not belong on this album, and it does not belong on any Slipknot album. It is a Stone Sour song. It should have been used for Stone Sour. The last time I saw Slipknot live in May, they did play it, which was a shock. And, yeah, they never play it as Slipknot. Corey always plays it with his solo band or acoustic by himself. It's really not... It really does not feel like a Slipknot song, honestly. But, yeah, there's great songs on here, though, like Gematria. The Killing Name is a massively underrated song. It's a damn shame they've never played it live. Sulfur is a banger. Psychosocial, obviously, it's another duality situation, you know. Not the best Slipknot song, but I definitely don't hate it, and I definitely will rock out and sing along if I do see it live or I hear it when I listen to this album. Or whatever. I won't skip it, but it's, you know, it's just there. Dead Memories, another case like Snuff. I mean, it's not quite as soft as Snuff. You still get some heavy riffs and some really good drumming by Joey. But yeah, it's a bit too soft, but I'll let it slide. Vendetta, another song they haven't played live. I don't know why. That chorus, you could get the crowd chanting. It seems like it should be a live staple, but they've just never played it live, which is really baffling to me. Butcher's Hook is really where you start to see kind of the phoning in aspect. Corey does not sound into it on this song whatsoever, especially that chorus is just so half-assed. It's, yeah, not great. Gehenna is a really cool song. Gehenna is really underrated. This Cold Black is another underrated banger. So is Where and Lies Continue. And Snuff, we've already talked about that. Just skip it. All Hope Is Gone, the title track again. Borderline, like, death metal song. Yeah, just a really heavy banger. And again, another song, I think they've only played it live once at, like, an All Hope Is Gone promo show. Which is a damn shame, because that song seems like it would be another live banger. They should definitely pull that one back out. And then the bonus track, Child of Burning Time. Again, it's another Stone Sour song. Just listen to the chorus. Throw it away. Till We Die is a really good song. They play that after their live sets. And they have the little pictures of Paul and Joey up. So that's a nice song. But, again, not really a Slipknot sounding song, but I'll let it slide. It's a decent song. Gonna put this one in B tier. Because, like I said, it is a pretty disjointed and kind of disconnected album, but there are some great songs on it. Definitely. 2014's The Gray Chapter. Slipknot's a great comeback after losing Paul Gray and also losing Joey Jordison. Now, he didn't pass away yet, but he was I don't know, fired or left the band, whatever. There's a huge debate about that. Joey says he was fired, so I'm just going to go with what he said. And yeah, so, yeah, man, this was a really pretty heavy album, honestly. There's lots of great bruisers on here, like Sarcastrophe, AOV, Skeptic, Lech, or Lech, whatever, Nomadic, Custer, The Negative One. Really great songs on here. Definitely some other, you know, moodier type songs like the intro XIX, Kill Pop, and Goodbye, and If Rain Is What You Want are, you know, slower songs which are really cool. And yeah, this album is just really awesome. Very underrated. It seems like this album is pretty underappreciated when it comes to some people. Some people don't like this album, but I think this album is really good. The Devil and I is a really strong single, and it's a great live song. And Corey's vocals on here are definitely pretty good. Like the singing, I mean, Corey's singing is always phenomenal. But on here it's really good. The screams are really nice on here. And Sarcastrophe is just another song that borders kind of on death metal. Like, it's a really sick song. The Negative One as well. So, you know, just tons of great bangers on this one. I think this one's really highly underrated. I'm going to put this one in A tier for now, I believe. After I get done, I'll go through this again and maybe rethink some of my choices. But yeah, and then up next we got 2019's We Are Not Your Kind. I know I dick rode this album to infinity when it came out, being like, oh, this is their most emotional, vulnerable album to date. Again, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I had this at number 1 in my last ranking, which is just doesn't make any sense. This album is definitely not Slipknot's best album, but it's not their worst either. We'll get there. But yeah, this album is really good. Unsainted obviously is a really strong opener, really good single. I am kind of critical of Unsainted as an opener, because if you know Slipknot's albums, they always open with a rager. Like Sick, People Equal Shit. I mean, Prelude 3.0 is a bit long for an intro song, but I still consider it to be an intro song. Blister Exists is the true opener off of Volume 3. Gematria and All Hope Is Gone, I mean, get the fuck out of here. That song is a banger. A Sarcastrophe on Point 5, another banger. And then you have Unsainted, which is a heavy, it is a heavy song, but it's got that really radio type chorus. So honestly, maybe Solway Firth would be a better opener for the album, but that song actually does work really well as a closer. So I don't know, maybe Red Flag or Orphan could have opened the album. I don't know, but yeah, as far as openers go, it's a bit on the weaker side. I mean, it's still a heavy song, like I said, but it's not quite a People Equal Shit or Sarcastrophe or a Gematria. But anyways, Birth of the Cruel is a really good song, kind of like a slow, dirgy song, kind of Alice in Chains vibes in the chorus a little bit. Or not chorus, but like verses, kind of has that effect. Nero Forte is a really good song as well, really strong single. And Critical Darling is a great song. A Liar's Funeral is phenomenal. Red Flag, again, another banger. Like, no clean vocals on this album, just harsh vocals, an absolute rager. What's Next? You know, kind of elevator music interlude. Spiders I really don't like. It's kind of boring and weird. Like the weird piano melody and stuff like that. It's just not a great song in my opinion. Orphan is pretty much the Heretic Anthem Part 2. It's fucking incredible. My Pain is not the worst. Actually, no, fuck that. My Pain is the worst Slipknot song. That song is unbearably fucking boring. It's just 6 minutes that goes absolutely nowhere. It's like a slow ambient type song. It's just fucking terrible. The fact that All Out Life was left off this album makes no fucking sense whatsoever, because in the fucking song they literally chant, "We are not your kind." Why don't you put it on the album then? Like, what the fuck? You really have to have My Pain on this album instead of All Out Life? Like, whenever I listen to this album, I take My Pain off and put All Out Life in My Pain's spot. And it works really well after Orphan. Just try that the next time you listen to this album. Take off My Pain and put All Out Life in My Pain's spot. The album is way better like that. But yeah, I mean... And Corey's screams on here sound really good. Now, this was after, I think, he quit smoking, so his screams definitely sound a lot more refined on here. And in Solway Firth especially, like, his screams are almost bordering on the Iowa days. Like, they're just fucking venomous. And especially in Red Flag as well, and Orphan. Yeah, his screams on here, and A Liar's Funeral where he screams, "Liar!" Like, that part is just, man. Yeah, that kind of harkens back to the Iowa days. So Really heavy album. Not their best album, 2019 Josh or 2020 Josh, whenever I made that video. But I would put it. I'll put it above All Hope Is Gone in B tier. Alright, so then we have their new album that just came out today, The End So Far. I'm just saying right here that was kind of a clickbait thumbnail. I'm sorry. But yeah, this album is pretty rough, man. I'm going to get some shit for this, I know, because I've already seen a bunch of people praise this album to the moon. And I've always told it straight with you guys. I do not pretend to like albums just to get more positive comments like I did on Kin from Whitechapel. I mean, I pretty much shit on that album when I did my updated Whitechapel ranking. I pretty much shit on Kin. So I'm definitely not going to hold back here. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. Am I going to put it in C or D? I don't know. I'll put it in D for now. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. This is Slipknot's worst album, in my opinion. This album is really fucking boring. There's about 4 or 5 songs tops that I enjoy on here, and those songs are Dying Time, or Dying Song, Chapeltown Rag, Hive Mind, Warranty, and HE77, or Hell, whatever you want to call it. That's it, pretty much. This album is really fucking boring. It's even more melodic than Volume 3. This is like their most melodic album. And yeah, it's just not great, man. Let's just start with the opening track, Adderall. What is this? What is this song? What the fuck is this song, dude? Seriously, like a bluesy pop type song to open a Slipknot album. Like on All Hope Is Gone, or not All Hope Is Gone, on We Are Not Your Kind, we were just talking about how every single Slipknot album pretty much opens with an absolute ripper. Sick, People Equal Shit, Blister Exists, Gematria, Sarcastrophe, Unsainted, and Adderall. Now, I would call Adderall an intro, but it's 6 fucking minutes. Like, at least on Volume 3, like, Prelude 3.0 is like 3 minutes. On Great Chapter, XIX is like 3 minutes again. But this is 6 minutes. Like, this song is fucking weird, dude. If you played the instrumental, nobody would know it's Slipknot. Nobody would even fucking guess that this is a Slipknot song until you hear Corey's vocals. What is this song, dude? What the fuck is this? Dying Song, Time to Sing is a pretty good song. Like, the chorus is, again, man, they're really reaching for that radio play on this. I don't get it, but the verse is really heavy, kind of harkens back to Sick, kind of a similar vocal cadence to Sick. That little pre-chorus part is really good too. But yeah. And then you got the Chapeltown Rag, which we've already heard this one well in advance. It is a pretty good song. The chorus is kind of weird, kind of a weird vocal melody, but there's some great songs in here. The pre-chorus kind of has like almost like a death metal vibe, like a frantic tremolo-picked riff and some blast beats. So it is a pretty cool song. Yen, I could never get into this song. I just find it really boring. Hive Mind is a pretty heavy song. Lots of blast beats in this song. But you get a clean chorus. Again, like we were just talking about Red Flag from We Are Not Your Kind. Like, just a straight-ahead heavy song with no clean vocals. Is this band really incapable of writing a song, like a heavy song, without clean vocals? Not every song needs clean vocals. Like, if you look at Iowa, most of the songs on there do not have a clean chorus. Like, the only song that really has a 100% clean chorus is probably My Plague, because other tracks like Skin Ticket, or not Skin Ticket, The Shape. Yeah, The Shape and Left Behind have cleans and screams mixed into the chorus, so My Plague only has cleans, I do believe. But yeah, they fucking force in a clean chorus in Hive Mind and Warranty. Just keep it out, man. Just sing the chorus, like scream the chorus or whatever. Not every song has to have clean vocals. Like I said, man, it really seems like they're reaching for the radio play on this album. And Medicine for the Dead is kind of a, I mean, it's okay. It's not a great song, but it's not bad either. Acidic is kind of a weird, like, sludgy type track. I mean, it's decent, I guess. And Heirloom. Heirloom is a Stone Sour song. I am dead. I am dead serious. Heirloom is a fucking Stone Sour song. The vocal cadence sounds like something you'd hear on Come Whatever May. Like, seriously, this is not a Slipknot song. Come on. HE77 or Hell, or H377, sorry, or Hell, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's a heavy song, but again, the cleans, just leave them out. Desaad is a pretty decent song. That one's not too bad. And Finale is just, I don't like that song at all. Yeah, so there's probably like 4 or 5 or 6 songs that I truly like on this album. So half of the album I can't stand, and half of the album it's either good or, I don't know. I wouldn't call any song on this album really great, aside from maybe the Chapeltown Rag. But other than that, like, the songs I do like are just good, and the songs I don't like, I really can't stand. And, you know, it sucks saying this, because even though I don't listen to them anymore, Slipknot is one of my favorite bands of all time. But yeah, just not feeling the end so far at all, really. Aside from those 4, 5, maybe 6 on a good day songs. But yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys don't eviscerate me too much just because I have a different opinion than you on the end so far. I already saw one reviewer give this album like a 3 or a 4 or something like that, a pretty low score, and people in the comments were being like, "Oh, I'd love to hear the music you make." As if that's a fucking argument. Like, oh, you can't have an opinion on baseball if you don't play baseball. It's the same shit. It makes no fucking sense. Like, take your fucking logical fallacies elsewhere. Anyways, let me know what your guys' tier list for Slipknot is down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. And peace out, guys.